Really, really proud of our bounce back from the other night. I thought we came out and played really well to start. We've been talking about, every game, our start's very critical and winning that first battle. And we came out and held them to 12 points in the first quarter and then 14 in the second. Thought our defensive intensity really set the tone. We were able to really force them higher out and got them out of a rhythm early in their offense. And then we were able to get stops, clean rebounds, and run and just play at a really good pace. So just really great overall team effort. At the end there, I know they made a little bit of run. I also wanted to give some other people, some minutes and some critical time to see how they responded. At one point, I had Shea at the 5 and Corey at the 4 and Shea and Bryn on the floor together. So some just different lineups, but wanted to, again, give them some opportunity when I felt like we had the game in control. So just a great bounce back. Now we gotta use this. We gotta learn. We gotta get better and tighten some things up going into a really big game on Sunday against Maryland.
Go ahead and raise your hand if you have a question. If you guys are with the class, feel free to just introduce yourself and then ask your question. Make sure it's directed to one of our student athletes as we start.
Adalia, just the last 3 games for you, this stretch of play, what's kind of been led to that stretch for you to have these back-to-back great games?
Yeah, I would just say a lot of prayer and a lot of focus. I'm surrounded by a great team, and they push me every single day, and I just go out and be my best, and I appreciate the people that I have around me.
Do I stand up? Okay. So this question's for either player, but straying away from the logistics and statistics of the game, I'd like to get more into the bigger picture. Do you feel like more recreational opportunities made available in Black communities like basketball directly contribute to Black people's wellness and mental health?
That's a really good question, but yeah, I do. I think the U of I provide a lot of opportunities for a lot of different people to, grow and be their best. And I think for Black History Month, I've seen a lot of different events and community outreach things that a lot of the student athletes can go to. And I just feel like sports and recreational activities, it is for the betterment of all people, but it is a really good thing for Black people as well.
Hi, my name is Eva. My question is for both players. The energy on the court was electric. Can you describe your mindset heading into today's matchup?
I'd say our mindset heading into today was we were hungry. We knew we needed a win. It was like a bounce-back game to get us back on track, and we just played how we played, and we were all focused.
Yeah, I was hungry. Last game didn't come out the way we wanted it to, and the next game always focused on going 1-0. So I just was hungry to get that, and we all were.
Makaira, when Adalia's doing what she's done these last 3 games, what does that do for you guys, whether it's defensively or her rebounding? Just how does that elevate you?
We always tell her that she's the X factor, which that might be a lot of pressure, but when she's playing like this, obviously you see why she's the X factor. She can just do some stuff that most of us can't, and that's just a fact. And so when she's playing like this and she's in her rhythm, we just know it's unstoppable.
Okay, just kind of playing off that previous question, just she has a hustle play there. She misses a layup and she gets the ball back on a steal and completes the layup. Just what does that do when you see someone having that energy on the court, just for the team, just in general?
Well, it's a spark. Adalia, she's a huge energy player, so she needs to do things like that in order to get herself going. And we see it every day in practice, so we're just like great job, keep it up, that's the standard. But for y'all, I'm sure it's very exciting, and it's still exciting even though we see it, but she's an energy player.
Adalia, what's that mean? When they say you're the X factor, we've heard that a few times. What does that mean to you? How would you kind of define that and your role?
I'll just say that I'm needed in every area on the floor, not just on offense, but on defense, every little thing. I got to lock in and just give my best. And Coach Green talk about, being elite and being our best, and that's just how I see it. I need to be my best for the team.
Makaira, just in that second half of getting to the free throw line and attacking. What did that kind of do for you? And, maybe when the shots aren't falling or, just to kind of influence the game in that regard?
Getting to the free throw line is always, it's a cool thing because it slows the game down. It's just free points, like you have to work really hard to get to the free throw line, but once you're there, you can like take a deep breath, gather yourself, and take a breather. So it also takes them out of their rhythm when you keep going to the free throw line back and forth. So, yeah.
For both players, so you guys have some big matchups coming up, and I just want to know, as a team, what you guys want to do collectively to kind of keep yourselves on this upswing, especially facing some really tough teams.
I think it's all about execution on both ends of the floor. And as I mentioned, like Coach Green always talk about going 1-0. So it's not about changing a lot of things. It's about doing what we do and being our best in doing that.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, you guys came off of a loss against Purdue, came back here tonight and got the job done. What is some of that momentum, or can you talk a little bit about the momentum that you'll bring into Sunday's matchup? Either one.
I feel like losing feels you because, it makes you upset and you want to get back, and I feel like that's what happened today. And winning feels you too because we want to go on a run and we want to keep this going, and we love to win. Coach Green say winning is the best feeling ever, and I agree. So just keeping that feeling and singing the alma mater at the end.
It's for both of you. 17 points from your bench today after just 5 on Monday. How much of a confidence boost does that give you, knowing you're catching a breather and your teammates are still getting points out there?
It's awesome because, like, behind the scenes, we see how hard everybody works each day, and the people who had a really good game today off the bench, it was a direct correlation from how they were this week and how focused and vocal they were. So it's just nice to see everything come together, and we celebrate them.
This question is for both of you guys. As you know, February 7th, yesterday, was National Girls and Women's in Sports Day. I just want to know, is there any specific woman figure that you guys grew up that motivated you guys to become the players you are today, or you look to aspire to become?
Yeah, I'll say for me, I looked up to Maya Moore. She was just so good, and I love her so much. And now I look up to Coach Green. She's a great leader, and I hope one day I could, be like her in whatever I do.
I'd say the same thing. Maya Moore, she was definitely like an idol. My mom, even though she didn't play basketball, she really helped me, like taking me to places and things like that. And then now, like, we have Coach Green.
Now
She's
you have
awesome.
to say that, right?
No.
Anything else for our student athletes?
Just Adalia, like you've had good stretches of basketball here, but just kind of given where you guys were and as a team, like where does this 3-game stretch maybe rank for you off the top of your head, just in what you've done here?
Can you, like, what are you trying to say, Can you?
Like just kind of given that you guys needed to string something you were so instrumental in that, like where does this 3-game stretch for you maybe rank compared to some of the other stretches of really good basketball you've had here?
I would say it's number 1. I don't think I've ever had like 3 games back to back to back like that, which is a lot of energy, effort, and focus. So it's number 1 in my book. What you think, Coach Green?
I agree. Let's keep it going.
Anything else for our student athletes?
Thank you.
I'm just wondering, how important to you is women's representation in sports?
It's very important to us. When you see like other people, when you see other women, it fuels you to want to be great and to want to like follow behind in their footsteps and to go about everything that you're going to do confidently. So, yeah.
And something I've learned, like, in order to be something, you got to see it first. You got to have an example. So having women representation is very, very important. And in sports, there needs to be more. And hopefully that there will be a growth in that. But I love seeing women just thrive and be successful because it gives me confidence. Like, if she can do it, I can do it too. And it's ultimately like a holistic thing. Like, we all lifting each other up.
When you guys like first get on the court, like what gets you going? Like not having the initial trouble, what gets you like into the game?
Dancing. Dancing for me. Just like dancing and just giving energy. It just gets me hyped up.
Music for me.
One more question?
Hi, my name is Nathan. After interviewing some of the people in the crowd, a lot of them are season ticket holders. If you could say something to your fans for supporting you throughout the season, what would you say to them?
Thank you so much, Illini Nation. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We feed off the energy. We love when it's packed. And just seeing the support for us, for women specifically, just really means so much to us.
Period.
Thank you so much.
Good job, you guys.
Thank you guys so much. Okay, go ahead and raise your hands for the mic and we'll go into questions for Coach Green.
Hi, Coach. As you know, you coached with the Northwestern staff before. How has this been like coaching against them this season, and not only coaching against them, but also winning against your former colleague and Coach McEwen?
Yeah, no, he's great, and he's one of the best guys in this business. And I was there for 15 months, so last year having to coach against him twice, and now this year. It's funny because I look down and he's on the court more than I am, so it's good. He's crazier and yells at the refs more than me, so I can just let him go. But no, it's great to compete. It's one of those games where I want to beat whoever I'm playing, but then after it, he's just a great person, and their family is unbelievable. We talk a lot, and I have so much respect for him. And I learned so much in a short time from him. He's a Hall of Fame coach, and have a ton of respect. And he does so well with what he has. And shoot, he's won a Big Ten championship. And at Northwestern, where a lot of people, think that's a really, tough place to do that. And he's done that. And he's just a great coach.
Sean, I know yesterday we talked about Adalia and the consistency of stringing them together, but what makes this stretch? I mean, you've been pretty steadfast. This is one of her best. Like, what makes this? What's different about this and maybe some of the point totals she had last year?
I don't even, the points are a byproduct of how hard she's playing. I mean, she's literally getting her points off of just like effort stuff, rebounds, steals. She just is playing so hard for so long. And I thought last year there was ups and downs. Even in games, there were spurts she played really, really hard. And we always were like just this sustained, effort. And now I don't know what's gotten into her, but she's able to do that. And now she's defending at an elite level for, a long period of time. Now she's scoring her drive. She's finishing better. She's 8 for 11 from the field. She's hitting that 15-foot shot. I still got to continue to work on her taking some of those threes, but we'll get there. It's just, I've said this so many times about her, like just her as a person and how she handles herself and how hard she works and how passionate she is. You just can't be any happier for someone like her. And I'm hard on her. I get on her all the time. But I just do it because I love her to death, and I know that she has so much in her. And now I haven't had to yell at her that many times in games, so it's been kind of nice. She's been doing what she's supposed to be doing, and we're playing a lot better when she's like that.
Shauna, just to get to the free throw line 27 times, especially there in the third quarter where they made that run and you were able to get to the line and kind of maybe stem the tide there. What did that kind of do for you in this game tonight?
It was huge, and that's something I have been harping on them and talking to them about. And then I was really adamant after our last game about being the aggressor. I just thought we were so passive at Purdue for whatever reason. Whether they were in their blizzard defense or their man defense, about getting downhill, getting to the rim, and especially with Makaira. After looking at some analytics, and this is the year in all of her years that she's gotten to free throw line the least. So really being, I just told her you have to continue to be that aggressor, and you saw her from the start attacking hard, And I don't know if she's ever got to the line 11 times in a game. So that's really, really big. And as a scorer, I always tell people this, like, as a scorer, you got to manufacture points, and the free throw line's the best way, and it also gets you into a rhythm and gets you confidence. So I could not be more happy with her attempts, and then in general, getting there 27 times. It's been something we've really been focusing on.
Jana, my name's Zach. Before you were brought in, Illinois women's basketball was averaging about 1,200 fans a game. But this season it's closer to 4,200, and it feels like there's more of an atmosphere at State Farm Center every night. How has that impacted you and your team, and how does that increase in fan turnout motivate you and the team more?
Yeah, if you want to be successful in a team that we're trying to build into a top 25 team consistently, you have to have a fan base. You just have to. I mean, Iowa's playing right now. It's sold out. Everywhere in the Big Ten the crowds have been unbelievable. So for our fans to come out and even tonight, I thought it was a great crowd, 3,000 on a Thursday night. We got to continue to build that. And from the moment I took this job, I've been, begging and pleading and out everywhere in the community trying to get people to come out. And I think if they come out, then they'll hopefully enjoy the product. So, I like where we've come, because you're right, it was not good at all before, in the previous years, but I still think we can even grow it more. So I'm going to be a little greedy, and I just want to continue to keep it climbing and keep it building. And you have to have that now. In the women's game, you have to have that now.
Hi, Coach. In the third quarter, Northwestern cut it into single digits right before the media timeout. At the end of that quarter, Illinois led by 19. Just wondering what you said in that huddle that led to that.
I don't even think I yelled at them, so that was probably good. Usually that's what happens, but no, I don't even remember. But we did flip it really quick. It went. Usually I'm probably preaching to them defend and rebound, and we went on that stretch where we weren't getting stops, and then we were turning the ball over, and when we can get stops and we're able to get out and run our stuff. So credit our guys. They bounced back and flipped it quick. That's a pretty big flip. So it was really great to see.
It was a really whistle-happy game today. How do you instruct your team to play knowing that every drive might result in a free throw line trip?
That's a good way to put it. I mean, that you never know what you're going to get right every night of how they're going to call the game. But I mean, yeah, when that's the case, like always, we want to attack. And we talk all the time about paint touches and getting in the paint. We want 10 a quarter. And we're actually getting calls tonight, that hasn't happened in a while. So it was great, and led to obviously the 27. But when you see that, you got to see every game is officiated a little bit differently, and that's just part of basketball. So if they're calling it tight, be aggressive and get downhill, and our players did that.
Hi. Was there a defining moment in this game that you believe reflected the work the players have been putting in recently?
I just think how we came out. I really wanted a great start, and we came out, and our defense was really, really good and energized, and we were focused. So I thought that showed that kind of what we've shown the past few weeks. Obviously, besides the Purdue game where we didn't come out strong, we've been really, really good at most of our starts. And then the third quarter again, I thought we came out at halftime pretty well. So those are some things we've been talking about, we've been working on, and they executed.
Coach, halfway through the fourth quarter, Northwestern brought a full court press, and it looked like Illinois, they had some costly miscommunication and turnovers when it came in. What was your message to the team to calm them down and make sure they execute the full court offense?
Take care of the ball. Stop throwing it to the team in purple. And there was a few there that we kind of just we were throwing it right to them, and it's just calm down, run our press break, and get the ball, just get it and go. And then I thought we did a little bit better. And then again, I had some different lineups out there too. And I wanted to see what they were going to do in those moments, but we knew they were going to come, and I mean, they had to. They were down, so much, so we knew that press was going to come, and we just got to do a better job taking care of the basketball.
So 9 out of your 11 losses this season have been by an 8-point difference or less. So obviously that's really close. Those are against amazing teams. What are those little tweaks that you want to make with your team stepping into the end of the season?
Why do you have to remind me of that? It's good and bad, right? You're right there, 9 out of the 11. I mean, really, there were possession games, and you kind of look back, what if we could have got, a few of them? And it's totally different. But we also, we were right there, and we've come a long ways, and we've learned so much. This year has just been such a challenging year, but it's also when you have challenges and when you have adversity, unfortunately in life, that's the best time that you learn and you grow. I think we've really grown a lot this year in a lot of different areas and have come together as a team and are very, very tight and connected. But yeah, we've taken it, and we'll reference, even tonight, we reference certain things that happen in Purdue so we can get better at it. And I always say, it's only a failure if you don't learn from it and get better from it. But those are stepping stones and really building a program. And I think that that's the thing that sometimes, this is only year 2 for us. And, we come in and win 20-some games last year and go to an NCAA tournament and do things that haven't been done in a long time. Sometimes you'd think you're maybe a little bit, no, we're still building a program, and there's steps in building a program. And for whatever reason, I just believe we had to go through some of these things this year, and hopefully we'll continue to get better and learn and win some of these tight games coming up. But yeah, a shot here or there, a stop here or there could been a lot different.
Coach, you mentioned a few times testing out different lineups in different spots tonight. Some really good minutes from Shea Bolan. Was there anything different you saw tonight or coming into this week during practice?
Yeah, and I told her in the locker room, she's had great practices. She had one of her best practices yesterday. And for when you're trying to get more minutes and you're trying to change your role, or if you're trying to get better as a starter, every player's different, but practice is so important. And that's where you have to make, if you're someone really trying to earn more time, your practices you got to approach that like it's your game. And you got to be ready, every single day. And then that builds trust and confidence within yourself. And it also builds trust and confidence with me. So I knew I had a really good feeling that she was going to play well tonight. And that's why I put her in right away, because of her practice. There's no doubt there's direct correlations between that.
Just, the upcoming stretch here, all against teams that are ahead of you in the standings, just starting with Maryland, just how important of a stretch is this as you kind of look to move up seeding-wise for the Big Ten tournament?
Yeah, it's a gauntlet. I've tried to not really look because I'm like, we have how many, quad 1 games, everyone's ranked, or, it's all the top teams. So, Maryland's the first one, though, and I'm going to continue just, one day at a time, one opponent at a time. So tonight, when I go home, it'll be watching Maryland film. And obviously we played them already, so we have a good feel. We'll prepare tomorrow, and we'll just try to, we'll come up with our game plan and come out. And this is a big game because we're tied with Maryland right now. We're both 5-7. So whoever wins Sunday is going to get that next step up. And, every game, I truly believe this team can beat anyone we play, or you could lose to anyone you play. It's just, how consistent, what's our execution level. So one at a time, start with Maryland, and, this is a big game. It's a big game Sunday. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Good questions by all you guys. That was really good.